In the Gospel of John, we find a profound story that holds a timeless message for each of us. During a Jewish feast in Jerusalem, Jesus visited the pool of Bethesda, a place where many sick and disabled people gathered, hoping to be healed. Among them was a man who had been crippled for 38 years, waiting for his chance at healing. John 5 verses 1 to 9. When Jesus saw the man lying there, he asked a simple yet significant question. Do you want to be healed? John 5 verse 6. The man's response, however, revealed why he had been in that condition for so long. Instead of saying yes to the possibility of healing, he said, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. John 5 verse 7. This response speaks volumes. It shows that the man had allowed his circumstances to dictate his life for nearly 4 decades. He had become comfortable in his discomfort, resigned to the idea that healing was out of reach because others weren't there to help him. He was avoiding responsibility for his own healing and instead was placing the blame on others. But how did Jesus respond to this? Jesus did not indulge the man's excuses or pity his situation. Instead, he gave him a direct and challenging command. Get up, pick up your mat, and walk. John 5 verse 8. In that moment, the man was healed, and he walked away carrying his mat. This interaction reveals several crucial lessons for us today. 1. Taking responsibility for change. The first lesson is that change often requires us to take responsibility for our own lives. The man at Bethesda was focused on what he lacked, someone to help him, rather than on what he could do. Like him, we may find ourselves in situations where we feel stuck, waiting for others to step in and change our circumstances. But Jesus' command to get up is a call for us to stop waiting for someone else to do what we are capable of doing ourselves. In Philippians 2 verse 12, Paul instructs believers to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. This doesn't mean we earn our salvation, but it does mean we have an active role in living out our faith. God has given us the ability to make choices, to take steps of faith, and to move forward, even when it seems difficult. 2. Overcoming the blame game. The second lesson is about overcoming the tendency to blame others for our problems. The crippled man blamed others for his continued illness, saying, While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me. John 5 verse 7. This mindset is all too common. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others for our circumstances, our past, or blaming other people for why we haven't moved forward in life. But the Bible encourages us to look beyond excuses. Galatians 6 verse 5 tells us, For each will have to bear his own load. We are responsible for our actions, our attitudes, and our decisions. Blaming others only keeps us stuck, but taking responsibility empowers us to move forward in faith. 3. Trusting in God's power to heal and restore. Finally, this story reminds us that true change and healing come from trusting in God's power. The man at Bethesda had limited his hope to the stirring of the water, believing that was his only chance at healing. But when Jesus commanded him to rise, his healing came not from the water, but from the word of God. In Jeremiah 17 verse 14, we find a prayer that should resonate with us. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. True healing, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, comes from God. But we must be willing to trust Him, to rise up in faith, and to walk in the newness of life He offers. The story of the crippled man at the pool of Bethesda is a powerful reminder that we cannot be prisoners of our circumstances. We must take responsibility for our actions, stop blaming others, and trust in God's power to bring about change in our lives. Jesus is asking each of us today, do you want to be healed? Our answer should not be filled with excuses or blame, but with faith and readiness to act. God is willing to help us today. He is offering us the freedom to rise above our circumstances, but we must decide to trust Him, get up, and actively pursue the life He has for us. May we all heed the call of Jesus to get up, pick up your mat and walk, embracing the freedom and healing that comes from faith in Him. Thanks for watching. God bless you.